Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to preview the Sweet 16 because that's coming up this weekend. I'm pretty excited to go ahead and do this. So let's get into it. Alright, so the very first game, 1:40 p.m. Central Time, 2:40 p.m. Eastern, I guess. On CBS we have Oregon State and Loyola, 8-seeded Loyola versus 12th seeded Oregon State. This one's going to be really good. Loyola's got the number one defense in the country, and Oregon State's coming off a big upset against Oklahoma State. Both these teams coming off of big upsets. Sorry, with Loyola just destroying Illinois last week. Illinois just looked tired in this game. This one's going to be a really fun game. I think Loyola is going to come out on top at the end of the day. But I do think it's going to be one of the must-watch games of the weekend. Two teams that really weren't expected to get this far, who have, and it's going to be a fantastic basketball game. The second game of the weekend, we've got Villanova and Baylor on CBS, 5:15 Eastern. Baylor's been pretty much favored to get to the Final Four. I do expect them to win this game. Villanova's kind of overperformed so far. And it's just like they beat Winthrop and they beat North Texas. They haven't really had to play anyone good yet. They beat a 12 and a 13 seed. I think this 1-seed matchup is going to be a whole different monster, and I don't know that Villanova's good enough at the end of the day for it. Also, Baylor's just Baylor. They're going to be in the Final Four, whether I like it or not, and I don't. Did I pick them to be in the Final Four? I don't remember, honestly. My bracket's awful now. With Illinois going out, my bracket is screwed. Third game on Saturday, 7:25 Eastern. Over on TBS, we have Oral Roberts, 15-seeded, up against 3-seeded Arkansas Razorbacks. Oral Roberts coming off of two big upsets against Ohio State and Florida. Razorbacks coming off against a nice win against Texas Tech last weekend. This one's going to be a fun one. Oral Roberts is a really good team to watch. They have those two players in Abness and Banner, I think his name is. I hope I'm remembering that right. Who can just shut a team down. They have really good guards. I can see them winning. I hope they do because I'd love to see Oral Roberts in the Final Four. But I don't think they will. I think Arkansas is probably going to come out on top. And then the final game of Saturday, 9:55 Eastern, the very late game over on TBS. We have the Syracuse Orange up against the Houston Cougars. It'll be pretty interesting to see how the Cougars will handle the zone thrown their way by Syracuse. Houston's a 2-seed. If they end up in the Elite Eight and they haven't yet beat a lower than double-digit seed, that's not going to be a good look for them, and it'll probably they'll probably be expected to be bounced pretty quick. But Syracuse has had a nice little run in this tournament so far. They beat San Diego State. They beat West Virginia. Nice one against West Virginia. I think Houston should be very scared of what looks to be a Syracuse team that's pretty good and does not resemble really at all that number 11 next to their name. So hopefully Houston we'll see if Houston will be able to handle them. Then Sunday, 2:10 Eastern, the Creighton Blue Jays, 5-seeded, up against the 1-seeded and favored to win it all, Gonzaga Bulldogs. The Bulldogs at the end of the day, Drew Timme, Jalen Suggs, Corey Kispert, they're just going to rout the Blue Jays. I hope the Blue Jays win. I really don't want Gonzaga to win this tournament, but it's really hard to see a world where that happens, where Gonzaga loses on Sunday to a Blue Jays team who's done fine throughout this tournament. Nice ones. They barely beat University of California, St. Berkeley. Had a pretty solid showing against Ohio. Were able to shut Jonte Porter down pretty well. But we'll see If they can match the Bulldogs, I somehow doubt it, though. Florida State has been ridiculously good defensively versus number one seeded Michigan Wolverines. I have to remind everyone constantly that the Wolverines don't have Isaiah Livers. I think this game's going to be really good. I think it's going to be really tight. 5 p.m. Eastern on CBS on Sunday. I think Florida State will pull it out, though. But I wouldn't be shocked if Michigan does. Michigan's been playing really well so far. Granted, they've beaten a 16 seed and an 8 or 9 seed. Who'd they beat? Yeah, they beat LSU. LSU game was closer than it should have been, but LSU played really well. So I guess we'll see. It's this one. I think it'll come down to the wire, though. Florida State did completely shut down a Colorado team who had scored, I believe, like 95 or 93 in the first round. So we'll see if they'll be able to do that up against the Wolverines. The second to last game of the Sweet 16, UCLA versus Alabama, 7:15 Eastern on TBS. UCLA, they won their first 4 game in overtime up against Michigan State. Went in and just beat BYU by 11 and beat Abilene Christian by 20. They haven't played anyone really that great. I guess BYU's decent. But this is going to be the real test for them. This is the are you good? And then for Alabama, if they lose this game, which I don't think they will, I think they're just going to be able to outpace UCLA offensively. Because that's what Alabama does. But if Alabama loses this game, I think UCLA has a really good chance to advance to the Final Four. If of course they can magically defeat. Oh crap! Who would they play in the Final Four? I apologize. I have to look. They would have to beat them. Yeah, I can see UCLA being the winner of Florida State, Michigan, and then the final 2 games, or the final game rather, Oregon USC. The winner of this game will have to take on the winner of Creighton and Gonzaga. He's going to go to the death. Evan Mobley and Isaiah Mobley have been really good for the Trojans as of late. We'll see if they can hold on to that. But they're going up against the Oregon team who's on fire. They just dropped 95 on Iowa. Completely shut down the rest of their offense besides Garza. I think if they can completely shut down the rest of USC's offense, besides Evan Mobley, then they can win this game. Evan Mobley's good, but I don't think he's good enough to drop 40 points in the way Luka Garza was. But I think that's just the fact of the matter. But we'll go through what matchups would be if they were to make it out of this round. The winner of Syracuse and Houston plays the winner of Oregon State and Loyola. And then the winner of Oral Roberts and Arkansas plays the winner of Villanova and Baylor. The winner of Gonzaga and Creighton plays the winner of Oregon USC. And then the winner of Alabama and UCLA plays the winner of Florida State and Michigan. So yeah, at this point I think Gonzaga is probably going to win it all. But anything can happen in March, and that's been more prevalent in this tournament than any in recent memory. Maybe we'll have a nice little Cinderella in Loyola or UCLA or someone, Oral Roberts, hopefully. I hope it's Oral Roberts out of all those teams, honestly. Oral Roberts is a really fun team to watch. And I would not be shocked if they can upset Arkansas and maybe upset Baylor. Probably not, but it'll be fun to see at least. Leave a like and subscribe.